I am J.R. Alvis.
I am LMA Dutual.
I am Giselle Ronaldo.
I am Rizuni Cabrera.
I am Shonari Mubado.
I am Jonari Ampalayuta.
And I am Carly Joyce.
We, BSED English, discussing critical literacy. At the end of this presentation, you will be able to explain the concept of critical literacy and its importance in understanding in text and messages, evaluate a given text by identifying bias, perspective, and understanding messages, appreciate fairness, inclusivity, and responsibility in interpretation of information, show respect for diverse perspective, and develop a sense of responsibility in interpreting and sharing information critically.
Have you ever heard the history of critical literacy? Well, the history of critical literacy theory, much of the early scholarship on critical literacy that is grounded on Brerian pedagogy. In 1987, Rare and Masada published the expansive volume on literacy and critical pedagogy. In it, they argued that those who can understand not only how the meaning is socially constructed, but also the political and economic context wherein those texts are created and repeated. Rare and Masada were first to initiate the idea of critical literacy in their production. It was not until in 1990 that Langsher and McLaren issued a statement what was to become the seminal text devoted to the topic. In it, they argued that literacy is more complex than traditionally defined skills of reading and writing. Rather, they argued that such traditional definition of literacy is ideologically aligned with a particular posture of normative, socio-political consciousness that are inherently exploitative.
First, let us define what is critical literacy. Critical literacy, according to Adams and Susan in 2023, critical literacy is the way of teaching students to read any text, whether print, performance, graphic, photographic, artistic, or musical forms, from a position in which readers questions the intentions of the authors and explores the issue from multiple
and corroboration. It is a good idea to triangulate information, that is to find at least 3 texts that agree. If other texts do not agree, further research into the range of opinions or disagreement is needed. Readers should be careful when statistics are presented without identifying the sources or when they cannot find any other text that acknowledge the same information.
Critical literacy is not just a skill, it's a formative practice that empowers learners to engage with text and the world through a lens of equity, agency, belonging, inclusion, and democratic action.
At its heart, critical literacy invites students to questions whose voices are represented and left out, and how they can contribute to shaping a more equitable and inclusive society. Critical literacy ensures that all students develop the skills, confidence, and understanding to take meaningful actions in their community and beyond.
The National Reading Panel in 2000 emphasizes that effective literacy instruction requires the integration of phonetic awareness, phonics, fluency, vocabulary, and comprehension.
Critical literacy takes these foundational skills a step further by encouraging learners to engage deeply with text, analyze perspectives, and take informed action, thereby fostering a rich, more meaningful understanding of the world.
This approach aligns with the panel's findings that comprehension is not just about understanding what is written, but about applying that understanding to think critically and solve problems.
Critical literacy encourages students not just to understand a text, but interrogate deeper meanings connect into their own lives and advocate for change. This process helps students feel a sense of belonging in the classroom as their identities are explained and motivated and driven into the learning process.
It also fosters democratic participation as they collaborate, reflect, and act to address real-world issues.
To strengthen critical literacy, educators should incorporate texts that address real-world social, cultural, and political issues to help learners analyze how language influences perspectives and power. Teachers should encourage students to ask critical questions about the author's purpose, bias, and whose voices may be missing in the text. Providing diverse materials from different cultures and viewpoints can also help students understand multiple perspectives.
Additionally, discussions, reflections, and creative responses should be used to allow students to express their ideas and apply critical thinking to real-life situations.
Critical literacy prepares students not only to succeed academically, but also to contribute to a more just and equitable